How we all doing today? It is Matt from TRITAC Martial Arts. We're at my home gym, the TRITAC Training Center, Cromwell, Connecticut. And this is, I think, our third live on YouTube. We're trying to make this a weekly thing. Every Thursday at 10 a.m., we go live, going over a lot of different martial arts, combative martial arts stuff. If you're new to TRITAC, we are a combative martial arts system and school. We have training for MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, self-defense, combatives, as well as strength training. And today's topic is on throws and trips, heavily influenced by Japanese Jiu-Jitsu and Judo. I got my good buddy Leon be training with us today. We're going to do some partner drills. Then we're also talking about using some training dummies. So I know a lot of you guys out there do train solo. So we're going to give you some drills to working on two of my favorite throws, Uchimata and Taitoshi. So guys, there are two streams going on. We have our YouTube stream as well as the Zoom stream. I'm primarily looking at our Zoom stream, but I'm going to pull up YouTube every now and then to answer questions. So I like this to be very interactive. This is real. This is live. So if you have questions, shoot them in the chat. I'd love to hear them. And let's have some fun. What's up, Leon? Come on. Leon's all tri-tacked out and looking good. So what's up, brother? Appreciate you. So guys, if you know Leon, Leon's in a lot of my videos, and we'll be training like 5-6 years now together. Yeah, probably around that.
July 2019.
Yeah, so getting up there. Yeah. So Leon is also a Wing Chun instructor. He's a diehard martial artist like myself. I feel like Leon is one of the few people in the world that really share a deep passion for the all varieties of martial arts, and we kind of geek out on a lot of different things. So it's quite cool. We work privately a lot. He's a great friend, so pleasure to have you as always. And he's a brown belt in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? We didn't promote you purple yet?
No.
I keep asking that. I know I'm being silly. Yeah. And what else have you been done? You've done Wing Chun for a very long time, right?
10 years. Actually.
10 years, yeah. And then he's competed in kickboxing, did very, very well. A lot of smokers and things that we've had here, but kickboxing, maybe we've got to get him in MMA someday too. Yeah, so on the list. All right, guys, so let's talk about, we're a little grappling oriented today, but we're going to think about connection points first, and connection points can happen from striking as well. And we'll see how far we get. And I might add some entries for striking as well as just pure grappling. But we're going to start with that. We've already gotten to a grappling position or a control point, and we'll go from there. I'm going to work on Leon, show you some concepts, and we'll bring it into Bob. Then when I don't take throws anymore, plain and simple, okay, due to my neck and all that shit. So I'll have like Leon do some setups on Bob as well as one of our judo dummies we got. In fact, back in the day when Leon and I were doing a lot of preparation for his brown belt, we broke it, the old blue dummy. Yeah, well, did you break it or just kind of broke? Whatever. We had this big, heavy dummy, and that, when Leon and I would do privates, he would just work it. But the training dummies, whether it be like the supple dummies or Bob, are great. Okay, first, Uchimata. And we're going to start off with one of my favorite control points, the overhook. And I'll talk about Leon's control point too in a second. So first, an overhook is I take my arm over his arm, right? And I'm now using a brace as well as shoulder rotation, okay? Same thing, conversely, Leon has a side clinch, or he could take an underhook, right? And the person whose almost elbow is like his elbow's higher, he's going to win. If my shoulder's kind of more rotated over, I'm going to win, right? And a lot of these overhooks, underhooks battles are dependent upon size. A generality, we could say, is that inside position wins. If I had double unders on Leon, obviously I'm in a better position. If I had two hands on his neck compared to a single collar tie, I would be in a better position, right? So inside control is generally better. The only caveat I would say is the overhook, or that strong whizzer field, because it does create a good opportunity to take him off balance as well as some throws. So when we're setting up for a throw, right now I'm going to start off with Uchimata. Actually, I want to say one thing really quick. This happens a lot with new beginners who are grappling. When someone is drilling, let's say Leon hypothetically was going to do a technique starting from a side clinch. I need to put my overhook in or my whizzer in to have him do the throw effectively. Why? If I just drape my hand here, where's Leon going to go? He's going to take my back, okay? And without a doubt, probably one of the next series I'm going to do is attacking the back, because our philosophy here at TRITAC, something we teach of grappling, striking, doesn't really matter, is that get to the back. That is the safest place I can be. Even when you think about running, I can run out that way, but I got to get to Leon's back that way. So from a self-defense perspective, all-around combat perspective, if I can get to the back at any point in time while I waste my energy or risk trying to throw someone when, just get to the back, okay? So if you're working with a partner, you're doing some sort of throw, make sure you have some sort of over-under relationship. It makes it work. Okay, Uchimata, just when we're starting to throw, we're most likely trying to cheat off and circle around. I don't want to get caught with my rear foot in front of him because he's just going to send me, plain and simple, all right? At the same time, I'm trying to create some of this dropping and rotational pressure with my left shoulder. So by keeping his leg back, it almost makes me start to feel like I'm sprawling. And I like to use like almost like a stumble step where I'm just really getting heavy. If I feel him like say coming for a body lock on me, I'm just going to get like away from him. And it's like awkward. But I am just using all my weight and energy and putting it on his shoulder. So it's very hard for him to keep his balance. He has to stumble. His footwork's bad. And then, of course, I get to throw him. So, Uchimata, I'm just going to go set up. I'm not going to throw you.
Okay.
All right. So, there's a lot of different entries, and there's two to go over. But conceptually, I like to think that whether I take a rear foot step first or lead foot step, that I want to get my outside foot, my right foot right now, pointed in a direction I want my opponent to go, right? If I just come here, it's going to be very hard for me actually to get a true Uchimata. I might kick his leg back, but it's not really going to do much, all right? I did see a comment there. Just give me 1 second, bud. I'll come look. So when we get our lead foot in, now we have to turn our hips and fit in this space, all right? And I thought my trigger almost is getting that rear hip, my left hip, to line to a center line, almost a bit past. And then it's a raising of the inside leg. And I think about I'm raising to his inside thigh or outside thigh. We'll talk about that in a second. And I just had a bow. I'm not going to take him down. I'm just going to raise, put my hand on the mat. And I get that initial feeling of Uchimata. So let me look at that question really quick. Hopefully new people here. What's up? Kiefer, Mo, Chi. Hey, everyone, what's up, Mo? Okay, cool. Let's keep going. So now, entries could just be I hit a step, boom, and I go. But sometimes it's a little harder to do, all right? So another way of doing it is I take a right foot step, left foot step, and now my hips can come really through. And when we get to a position like this, it's almost like now I'm striking that outside thigh, and I'm able to actually get more lift. All right, finally, let's actually take him down. The throw itself, yeah, I do probably trust Leon to throw him without a risk control. But ideally, when I'm throwing someone for safety and for just general completion of the throw, we should have some far side control, wrist control, elbow, etc. One of my favorite ways kind of doing this is I go 1, 2, I feed. So I now have this 2-on-1 grip, all right? Then when I'm ready to go, I take my step 1, 2, I let it go, okay? So I want to get my 2-on-1 to change to under the shoulder. So when I start thinking about pulling and rotating like Leon over a tipping point, which is essentially my hip, okay? And this particular throw works pretty good. I would always love the most to have my hips in line with my opponent, maybe a little under, right? But because of this one and my height, my hips are going to be over, like higher than his. But the Uchimata and the raising of it do like almost loads him or slides him up on my hip to throw him, okay? So now it's time for the throw. So let's say again, we're here. I maybe grab 1, 2, slid in, and now, whoop, whoa, sorry, boys. And now you see the dogs. Yeah, they were hanging out in the background. Hi, Vito. Hi, Brucey's. Yeah. Brucey's got a bad leg. I know, guys. He's okay. He's okay. Yes. Good boys. Okay, good boys. Can we lay down, please? I know. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. Come on, let's go here. Let's go down. Lay down. Okay. So, Vito found the ball. He's good for a minute. All right. Now, I could do the same thing with an underhook. So now the only difference is I would have my hand at his shoulder, okay? And when I'm doing the underhook, like I said earlier, get the ball. Go. All right. He'll be gone for like 2 minutes. not even 30 seconds. I'm gonna grab that shoulder, I'm gonna win that head position. And I want to feel like I am taking this space. It's gonna be similar in nature when I throw, I'm trying to like rotate it over, but it might give you a better like grip or control, okay? Depending on your size. So same thing. I'm here, boom. I come in, and now I'm gonna get my hips square, and I hit my Uchimata. Now I'm glad that happened because that's what I consider almost like a dirtier Uchimata when I cannot get my hips all the way across and strike his far side inner thigh, right? When we raise just this leg off the ground, sometimes they have pretty good stability or decent enough stability that I can't get that leg off the ground. But because of the rotation and elevation, they're still going to fall. And a lot of times the woman's like set up that purposely. Like if I want to, we'll get a little deeper in a second. Let's say I want a front headlock, one of my favorite combinations, right? I don't even have wrist control. I could be here, here. Maybe I'm fighting for the wrist, and I get a dirty Uchimata. Boom! It lowers his level, and I get to a cooler position. Okay? So, let's start. I'm going to have Leon do a couple entries, and then I'll have him do some throws on Bob. So, if you guys have not seen us use this, one of my favorite training tools is Bob, especially for like, well, for all around work, obviously boxing, kickboxing, and all that type of stuff. But like your like throws, entries, connections, in all my years of training, I have not found a better tool than Bob for solo work. The only downfall is you really can't throw him like a training, like a judo dummy or a grappling dummy. There's another version we have somewhere over there that is like the throwing version, but it's just not as good. Plain and simple. I wish you could throw this, and I've seen some people do it, but not good. Okay, so let's start off with our overhook. Now Bob's gonna be he's a dummy, but you have the same sinking feeling. Like I can almost feel the heaviness in Bob's hips. All right. Now I might just take that lead foot step, I turn it in, and I match my hips, and then I get my elevation. Boom. All right. I hit the middle point back there, kind of gives you actual lift, so I cheated. But same thing. Now I could grab wrist control, a little tough, and I slide in. Now if I use a cross step, boom, boom, and you can really feel how you can start raising them. And that's one reason I like a Bob or trained up, because the base is what? I don't think it's 100 pounds, 70 maybe, something like that. But the way it feels, like it's so anchored down, you get the feeling like you really have to use your hips and the lever of your body to get it. So overhook, underhook. You're either side. Do you feel better on your left or right? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So actually, I'm glad he does. If you guys see Leon's hand, he actually has a side clinch compared to an underhook. Nothing wrong with that at all. That's just his preference of how he likes to grip. That's what's so cool about martial arts. I'm an overhook guy. He's a side clinch guy. Someone else might be a underhook guy. You can mix them up, and as you progress, you'll learn all of them. Okay, go ahead. Don't try to take them down. Just try to get the fit. Yeah. It's your first time doing it on this Bob like this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, interesting. Yeah. There you go. No, I see what you're trying to do. Okay, so watch on that one. So I have to do it from overhook, but I'm gonna go one in front. Then this allows my back foot tuck in much deeper and get a proper angle. What you're struggling with a little bit in the beginning is like this foot is almost still pointed that way. You struggle to turn your hips over. So it's like one. See, almost like you're doing a kick. Like, if you don't just kick, well, sometimes you kick like this. A lot of times we're gonna whoop, boom, turn it over. It almost has the same thing. And when you do it, when you go inside, outside, boom, you'll get that. Guys, like I think J Flow does a similar footwork pattern where like he draws them out and turns them in. I think we were sharing it a while ago. Remember when I have it on video, but it's a similar. I actually think it's a little bit more in depth. Similar in concept, was like circling, trying to draw. So I'm like kind of like drawing them out. They allow me on my hip to get across, and it's almost like similar. If you think about regular judo footwork, like 1, 2, whoop. I never was really good at that, but so it'd be for you. It would be right foot forward, left foot behind. Oh shit. Yeah. Right, left, right. Yes. So right foot, let's gotta come out farther this way. Left foot behind. Now turn your hips over. Boom. So it's like it's like I go 45-degree angle, other 45-degree angle. So it's almost like I'm, trying to say. And then this will come through. So you've got to go 45-degree angle, other 45-degree angle, boom. See that? 45. No, you got to invert the right one. So the right one now has to be pointed this way. Yeah. So it's going to go right, left, right. Right. Yes. Better. You're jammed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And the feeling of this one, I feel like, is like I'm almost drawing him out a little bit. And at the same time, this is where the benefit of an overhook or an underhook will come in because I'm bringing his shoulder with me. Okay. When I have the side clinch, it's going to be definitely a little, I feel like a little stuck, to be honest with you. Okay. I might just come in for this step, boom, and whip my hip. But that doesn't fit, like it doesn't fit my body or Bob's height. Yes. One, turn hip over. Now I should feel a little better, right? No, maybe. Boom. Here, come here. Try on me. I know. We're trying. We're playing around here. Where do you want? Come.
Here.
Yeah. Draw it out. One. It would have been rear foot first. Rear foot, left foot behind, and then boom. A little better. Feel? Yes. That's better. A little more turn of the hips too. But if you were to watch a replay of that, as you started coming in, you already started shifting my weight this way. And then it was just.
You don't do the cross steps either.
Yeah, that's what's kind of like. You too many to step right to it, right? But a lot of times, let's say I'm trying to step right to you. It's like if I step to you, typically slide away a little bit. Like it's kind of hard. So kind of replace this foot, boom, and go.
Yep.
In fact, I saw this video. Who's a judo? I think he's Japanese, but he's a no-gi grappler. He's also done MMA now. Something with S. Shintaro. Oh man, I'm gonna screw up that name. Well, he's been a BJJ Fanatics a lot. Okay, really good Uchimata. And what he was doing was he did a mini Tai Toshi, called like a Tai Toshi, boom, Uchimata. And I thought that was kind of cool. If also the same concept of us doing like, okay, I'm gonna do a dirty Uchimata, but he used the dirty Tai Toshi to then get deeper into the Uchimata. So it's like, I don't think it'll look right on Bob, but hypothetically, so it would go 1, 2, and it was just nice. So I had that step 1, no, it was different. It was step 1. I think he did step again. 1, 2, 3. Or did he go step 1, 2? Maybe no. Yeah, I think it was. I'll have to find it. I'll share it with you. Yeah, but it was interesting. Okay, let me pause right there, guys. Any thoughts, questions, curiosities? I'm gonna check the tube. Alex, from the YouTubes. I really appreciate your work, brother. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Love having you on here. Okay. got 4 people watching right now. Nice. On the YouTubes. We're making big waves in the world. 4 people watching. I actually think it's cool. That way, can you do the dirty Uchimata one more time? Look away. Absolutely. In fact, that's what I'm about to get to right now. A little deeper. Yeah, we'll skip that for now. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was supples. SUPLES to make a lot of cool dummies. Okay. Dirty Uchimata is one of my favorite combinations or use of tools to use to get to the next position. It's almost like chain wrestling, like chain Japanese Jiu-Jitsu or Judo. So, actually, let's combine it. I did Dirty Uchimata last time, the front headlock. Let's do that again because this is a combination almost everybody uses here. So, first, regardless of your entry, I'm just going to take a small little step. And now I want to strike the inside thigh and get his head lower and his weight shifted. Boom. Now, once that happens, I then come and collapse over the head. Boom, collapse. And I square up at the same time. Now you'll go to a snap down or front head or a choke. So simple and powerful. One of the absolute best combinations for Uchimata I know. Now there is a deeper dive, without a doubt, on this channel on the Uchimata and a lot of combinations. I just search in the channel Uchimata, UCHI space MATA. You'll find a deep dive. I did it after I think I got back from neck surgery. I was all excited to talk about jiu-jitsu again, so I talked for a half an hour plus on like dirty Uchimata. Okay, if I was going to do it on Bob, we have a similar feel. Boom, and there's chains in the front head. Boom, boom, and then we chain in some dirty knees too. So if I want to add another variation, this is what we're calling a knee pick or ankle pick, excuse me. Again, one of my favorites because I don't have to do much. It's almost has a little bit traditional flavor to it, then we add wrestling. So this is the conceptual nature of it. I would hit my dirty Uchimata, then get my foot almost in line with Leon's foot. Now my knee is almost behind his knee, and I just bend. Now, it's cheeky. Does it work conceptually? Yes. You think I ever pulled that off if you were rolling? Maybe, because I'm a ninja. But I have low faith in it. So I just make it better. We do the exact same thing. Boom, 1, 2. Okay? Because what's the natural reaction sometimes when we do try to brace that leg, he plants this one, steps away. Okay? Especially when he feels it coming in. So it's almost like a punch combination. We're going to go 1, there's my jab, there's my cross. And I'm using my shin to drive through back Leon's knee, and then that takes him off balance, and just pull the foot off the ground. In a great position to go from there. I'll do it from the other side. Maybe you guys see a little differently. We'll move Bob out of the way. He's taking up a lot of energy. Did I do it from the side? Did I? No. Okay. Did we do this side already? It doesn't matter. You tell me. We're good. Okay. Here. Boom. Watch my left knee how it drives through. Then my right hand comes after. 1, 2, 3. Simple. Very, very cool. Works great off the cage. Love the dirty Uchi to the ankle pick. And I'm trying to think of one more that I like. There's the Uchimata underhook to back take. I saw Craig Jones do this, I think at 80cc. Pretty sure it was the one we were at. And I seen it pop up a couple more times. It's really slick. So this is what you're going to do with the underhook. And the goal is almost to do like a Superman, where I'm going to Uchimata kick, then punch forward with my left hand. Boom. Hey, look at his back. It just showed up so easy. And again, we did this like 4 or 5 months ago, I'm guessing, in class. And now I'm seeing it pulled off like at least a couple times a week. Because it's one of those things, like once you get the concept, like, oh, fuck, why was I never doing that before? And that's what I love about martial arts. So sometimes you'll see things like, I feel so stupid. How come I didn't think about that before? And that was one of these. It's like, just makes so much sense. So you're here again. You have your underhook. Win the head position, please. And I don't need far side wrist control, but if I have it, that's great. And then I'm going to hit my mini or dirty Uchimata step, which the difference is my traditional Uchimata, I'm trying to get the center line or past. With my dirty Uchimata, I'm really just trying to get my foot in line with his foot. Kick through, punch, and essentially fall into him. you should feel like you're gonna go here, step, boom. It's like collapse. And that's what just makes a very, very awesome entry. So I think I'll stop on Uchimata's right there. That's almost exactly 25 minutes. So Kiefer, any thoughts or questions or additional thoughts or questions on the dirty Uchimata? Anybody else? Would love to hear feedback. Man, talking and like trying to do technique at the same time always makes me out of breath. Like, you guys try doing that. It's tough. I'm supposed to be teaching. I'm like, man, I'm not even training right now, but I can't even speak. Yeah, the Craig Jones Superman thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got it, but appreciate it. Let's let me grab back into YouTube really quick. See if there's anything, questions there. No other questions. Okay, cool. Let us move on. Actually, you guys want to see Leon throw some shit? Why don't you grab the speed dummy? And we are all going to look at him with shame and distaste. I'm kidding. Okay. First off, if you guys are new to TRITAC, it is a respect first environment. That means at the gym, online. There's so much shit and hate in this world. I do not do politics or any of that stuff. Well, I want TRITAC to feel like peace for people at their home, whether you guys are online in our community, watching on YouTube, watching Zoom, or you're part of this gym. We joke a lot, we have a lot of fun, but there's never anything disrespectful here. It's just open and honest and very important to me. So, okay. So seriously though, let's watch Leon do it. Any way you want. Think about just getting your clinch and just working for Uchimata or chaining if you can with that thing. Up to you. Nice, good. Again. I'll try to get him up on your hip a little bit more. The kick was good, but see if you can start steering him over. Maybe switch that underhook. Go ahead again. Yeah, he's floppy bopping. Yeah. That was pretty good. Nice. Yeah, if you saw the difference on that one, we thought about that like the rotational point. He had such a good bow, then upper body control that I was able to use that side control to kind of roll it over and got Bob, whoever this guy is, a speedy dummy, Mr. Speed, do a cool flip. Now Vito's interested again. Yes, boys. Big throw coming. Watch Vito. Oh, too high. So those more. I mean, when you're doing on this dummy, you're almost like doing a harai, truthfully, or I mean, it's the same. We'll call it similar enough to the Uchimata. And one of the biggest problems of harai goshi, just drop it really quick, is that we come too high into the hip. And this is because it's absolutely one of my favorite throws that I've done this so many times that we make our great step, but I strike like really high. And trying to rise someone up and over your hips is pretty tough. When I can strike right around the knee line, and you have a little bit of a bend that, or like almost on like teardrop of the quad. If I can get my back of my knee to match there, now it starts having a much. I'm not gonna throw him. It's okay. I have a much better. Yes, he's fine. When Bruce gets concerned about something, he goes like between my legs, make sure everybody's all right, checks in everyone. You're a sweetheart. I know. Okay, so go ahead. A few more. Yes, you're a good boy too. I see you. Yes. Want to take these off for now? We're in the morning. They get very excited because it's quiet. You know, it's only 10 a.m. here. And obviously, you know, when it's 5:30, 6 o'clock, you know, there might be 50, 60 people in this place. And they're just used to the chaos. When it's quiet, it's like they're at home. And all of a sudden, people come in the door like, who is this? That wasn't bad. What do you think, Vito? I just took them off. I swear, if you start barking. Guys, those are not shock collars. Those are buzz training collars. So I don't want people to think that I'm shocking my dog. They're buzzing. They're training collars. We are not the shock type family. Good. Ooh, that was nice. One more just like that. That was a really good one. In the comments, give Leon a rating. Ooh, that was pretty good too. I like it. All right. Just popping in to say hello. What's up, Robbie? Good to see you, brother. Guys, if you don't know Robbie is one of our instructors out in Oklahoma. He is working on building his TRITAC school, his fast training academy or fast academy. I'm sorry, Rob. If you want to put in a comment, where your location is, what you're doing, what you're working on, just say hello, Robbie. Let people know. So yeah, if you guys, we're expanding the TRITAC network, and we just want to help. We're not looking to be like someone's like replacement school or whatever. Like, you don't have to become a TRITAC brand, but we work a lot on our system, our training protocols, our teaching protocols, our curriculums, and just almost 19 years. I think it's over that, but we'll say 19 years of experience now, like running a martial arts school from like the ground up, sharing space in my first Kyokushin dojo, teaching a few times, and not even teaching, the first training with a few buddies a few times a week, and to teaching, to growing that, to then opening my first true academy, the JSA, the Jiu-Jitsu Strength Academy, then going from the Jiu-Jitsu Strength Academy to this place, which was originally called the Cage JSA. My ex-partner had a business called the Cage, which was pretty popular in the area, and it was actually right up the street from my school. I ran the JSA, the Jiu-Jitsu Strength Academy. It was like 5,000 square feet. He had about 15,000 square feet. And he had a lot of fitness people as well as martial arts. I had a lot of diehard martial arts, jiu-jitsu people and combatives, as well as strength training. I knew him pretty well, so we got into a partnership, and that lasted for maybe 3 years. COVID, all that stuff happened. People change in life. Well, not change, people move on in life. So I had an opportunity to take the business over, and I did. Then I made one of the biggest commitments in my life, where I changed that name, which was fairly well established, even though it was an awkward name, Cage JSA, and I never truly liked it. People knew us, right? I mean, we've been doing this for so long, people knew us. But it wasn't how I felt internally anymore. And TRITAC has been in my soul for a long time. I'll be honest, I was almost scared to bring it into like my gym environment. It's like, oh no, will people hate what we're doing and all this? It was this weird thing for me because it was like online and all networking, but then bringing it in and calling the gym TRITAC was a little hard for me to begin. But we did a big survey, asked everybody here, and the overwhelming thought was, yeah, let's go TRITAC. So we committed to big name change, big marketing. Oh my God, I had to change everything that ever existed from KJSA to TRITAC. It was one of the best moves of my life. I never felt more strongly about what we're doing. The community we're growing is awesome. And it's actually one thing is like, I know, dude, you got to like try to have a heart to heart with YouTube and Facebook Live or Zoom Live. But when I made that commitment, it felt like I was almost going back to my roots at the JSA, that I finally had a place that was mine, and also a place where the community was like just really connected. No offense to the old Cage members, but they were just different than the group that I had built over years. They're just different goals, different mindsets. And now I just feel like everybody, even though it's a bigger place, 20,000 square feet, I feel like it's just a cozy home. So, all right. There he is. Yeah, Robbie, Tulsa, Oklahoma, fast MMA. I'm really looking forward. He's teaching at a Jeet Kune Do school right now, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Bobby. And also was a Greco-Roman wrestler for the Air Force, veteran. There's a deep history for Robbie, so appreciate having you here, brother. Okay, let's move on. We're going to do Tai Toshi now. Tai Toshi is another one of my favorite throws. If you guys know me well enough, everything is my favorite throw. It's just the way it works around here. And the Tai Toshi is a little different. And why I liked Tai Toshi, I'll set it up right now. Why I like Tai Toshi compared to, say, Ogoshi or other hip throws is that when I would find that I had to come across the opponent's hips, especially if like an Ogoshi, I had a hard time getting my hips underneath people. I could do it, but it was never like good enough to actually get the throw off. Tai Toshi was more of a trip. And in our Kobukai system charts, we learned Tai Toshi first with yellow belt, I think. Yeah. Then I think blue belt was Uchimata and Browno's Harai, or maybe both Uchimata and Harai were at blue belt, something along that lines. So you would finally get, we would learn Uchimata and the Harai about maybe 5 years in. So Tai Toshi and Ogoshi were some of my first exposures to trips. And the Tai Toshi has really worked for my body type. I love this throw. A lot of variations of it. So let me set it up nice and smooth first, and then we'll talk about some different variations. Okay, first, we're going to still take this step. But our step now is not as deep. And I'm trying to just get my hips to turn over a little bit. I'm pointing in a direction again where I want my hips to go and the power to go. And I'm going to put my foot on the ground. And I try to notch the back of my leg or back of my knee behind Leon. And I'm bowing or leaning forward. And all I'm going to do is extend my left leg FYI, this left knee's a little shot, so I might only do this once. Okay. So I'm extend and bow. Boom. Yeah, that's left one's me. Sorry, guys. I've been trying to baby. Ever since I threw you, Ipan, that leg. Yeah, we were doing a video. I forget what it was. I was feeling spicy. And I decided to throw an aggressive Ipan Seoi Nagi and boom, like really hipped into it, like hamstringed into it. Like as you come over, and man, the back of my fucking knee and hamstring just like snap. And that was what, 4 months ago, 3 months ago? I don't know. Yeah. Long enough to fucking realize it. So I'll do it slow again, and then I'm not gonna do it again. So here, boom, it just be when I go through, just be a little lighter on that. Thanks, buddy. Okay. So I go, take that step, hips come across, boom. So the difference is you have to think about when we're doing a hip throw, my goal would almost be get my hips in line with his or maybe slightly rotated past. When we're doing a Taitoshi, I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's a trip, not a throw. Okay, so he'll be coming over my leg. All right. And when we do it smooth, it's not like you put your foot on the ground, then elevate. All you do is you put your foot on the ground, boom, and he goes over pretty easily. Now, very important detail. When we're putting our stomp foot on the ground, I am trying to keep my heel up and turned in to the direction. Boom. Okay. This is really exaggerated. I find that it's more like almost a side kick to a certain degree, because if I keep it flat and he's tripping over my knee, well, that runs a huge damage or risk of hurting my knee. If I keep my heel elevated and have a knee bent, worst case scenario, my knee will drop and it turns into a drop tie Toshi. All right. So on Bob, then I'll have you do it on him. Come back over. Bob is similar. Okay. You're probably going to want far side wrist control for this or some sort of control. Step. Boom. And you can already see how Bob's going over. And just like most throws, there's this element of like bowing, you know, when we do like the, like I said, Osotogari, well, you know, okay. I'm not going to take you down, but I'm bowing, right? If I do Harais or Uchimas, I'm bowing. Our upper body is typically going to counterbalance our upper body. I'm sorry, our lower body. A lot of times I see people do any throws wrong. Is that they come up too tall. They're trying to like stay tall and muscle him over. Well, then you're not able to drop that shoulder, get his weight forward. So when we do these, we're trying to like, boom, like punch the ground. Okay, you want to grab some Tai Toshis? Ito. No, that's pretty nice. No, don't maybe put the collar back on. Okay, those too many steps. I think you're just feeling it out, maybe. Yeah. Awkward.
From doing.
Should I get another one of the blue ones again? At your level, I would rather see one step than go. So step, go. Much, much better. So for you guys who are watching, it's clear to like learning phase and training phase. Okay, let's just kind of blanket terms. Let's call it that. Learning phase, I'm going to work on the connections and the fit and all that, like the uchikomis. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, because that's exactly what's happening in a fast pace. When we do it, I just do it smooth for me to see kind of. It's like 1, boom. I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm going 1, 2, 3, but it happens just smoothly. Boom. And that's what really should happen. At Leon's level is Brahma and Kobakai. He doesn't need the extra learning step. And to be honest, when I'm doing the learning step, I actually sometimes struggle with it because like just so much easier to throw full, you know, especially in Tai Toshi. tends to be a quicker throw. You know what I mean? A few more. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're good. Yeah, that was nice, right? Ooh, good Taitoshi. Boom. Now, I don't know if you saw it. He forced it a little bit, right? He got a little upper body, got a little spicy, got a big for his britches. People think I'm like 90 years old now. Yeah, big for your britches there, Leon. Just whip that hip and stomp the ground. Much better. You heard the leg strike out it. You felt the leg strike out it. And that's what it is. Like, I make this joke sometimes. There's no hitting in jiu-jitsu. Bullshit. I mean, what do you call that? I'm not hitting him. But like, okay, what else? I'm entering for a single leg. Boom. Like, what? I'm headbutting him. I'm not winding up, but sometimes. And this is really like, you have to like take this as a big caveat. Like, sometimes people are too nice in training that they're like not bringing any realism to it. And then sometimes they're too much of a dick in training. And you've got, if you have to wonder if you're a dick, you're probably that guy. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Fuck it. All right. But seriously, like, being a dick it happens, right? It just, and people don't mean, very, very few people who we train here truly mean to be a dick. They're just excited, plain and simple. And it's the coach's job to tone that down a little bit, right? If you're working solo with your one or two training partners and your buddy is going a little crazy, just ask him to tone it down a little bit. It's not disrespectful. Okay. Then being too lax is that you're now like, I'm just letting everything happen. I'm not connected to the fight. I'm drilling lazily. I've got no energy. You guys thought I was throwing at you, huh? But yeah, it's a big difference. So I'm giving you permission and freedom. Yeah, like make it feel real. Because if not, then how are you going to do it for real? That's a big thing for me in TRITAC. Like, if I don't believe in it, I won't teach it. Plain and simple. Okay, well, one more for good luck. Is your emphasis on pushing them over your ankle rather than using your hips like an other throw? Mainly hip. Yeah, so it's a trip. Okay, that's what I was saying earlier. It's think about you're striking with the back of the knee, but the real, like, his weight goes like here. You know what I mean? Because think about it, his knees here, so I struck that, so his legs kind of trap. Can I throw you one more time? So you'll want, I'll set it up first so you see my hips. My hips aren't really involved. See how my his hips are almost in line with my thigh. So now when I do it smooth, he's just coming over. I'm doing like a boom. It's not a load and a lift and throw. Does that make sense? So it's a big difference there. Hypothetically, if you combined your hip with your Taitoshi movement, you'd almost be in a harai, but you have to raise the leg. And Shion used to tell me when I was doing harai or doing Taitoshi, he said, stop haraiing your toshis, which meant that the toshi was supposed to be a trip. Boom. Okay. Haraiing would be the raising of the leg. And so what I would do, I'm not going to rise you up right now. I would do Taitoshi. I would tend to hit and try to like turn it into a harai. I'll be honest, it felt really good. And there's nothing wrong with what I was doing. He said that, but it wasn't the Taitoshi, and it wasn't what we were working on that day. So I had to stick to it, which makes sense. That's how I teach now too. Okay, let's move on. Now, any questions on any of those things, guys? For Taitoshi or Uchimata or throws in general? If you do, let me know. I'm going to pull up the tubes. How to face a hook punch, my brother. Okay. I saw this on the YouTube. Not Fatty, my fault, man. Fadi Dungan. Dude, my names are horrible, so you should see my Japanese jiu-jitsu pronunciations. They're just atrocious. All right. So it kind of leads into what I wanted to do. I want to talk about some entries for these throws because that's what we're talking about combatives overall, like that's a big part. So I'll teach you kind of one of the simpler ones that I learned initially in Kobukai Jiu-Jitsu, and now we would call it a variation of a long guard. So guys, we think about long guard, there's different variations of it. Simply, I have my lead hand out in front, and my rear hand could be open in front, etc. The traditional Muay Thai long guard, and there's variations of this as well, would have a hand in front that they're defending against shots, keeping space, getting clinches, dropping elbows. And I love that shit. I love that integration. So we use that a bit. But it reminds me of what we did in Kobukai Jiu-Jitsu when someone would throw like a big looping punch. Now, here's my thought process on when you're training these punches. First, a haymaker is not this. Okay. It is not a horizontal plane action, right? Haymakers, people are still aiming at your face. Okay. They're not aiming at the back of their net. They're almost like if you watch a lot of fight footage, which I do, and a lot of sparring footage, which I do, and a lot of, it's just plain simple. Like, that's the target. Okay. People are still going to hit there. So Leon can make me really good. Go ahead, throw wide hook punch. Oh, that was easy. And I just enter in. And a lot of times that doesn't work at all. What we have to do is when he's throwing that punch or starting even to throw the punch, because they're going to do this. In fact, I was reviewing some fight footage the other day. We had some newer kids in the cage who had a little bit of experience, but definitely a little bit more aggressive, younger. They had never been in the cage before. And every single punch they threw came from downtown and kind of curled over. It looked like this. It wasn't anything remotely clean, but it wasn't this looping haymaker either. So we're here, and I feel now, if I am in a situation, we're talking about combatives, I'm dealing with a hook punch or wild punch coming in, I am not here in his face because I'm already knocked out. And I'm going to sound like an asshole saying it. You deserve to be. Brucey, no looking. No looking. He has an infection. He likes to lick it. Okay. So I am not going to allow someone to be that close to me because I'm just asking for it. And not I deserve it, but like, why the fuck am I here on someone? Yeah. Man, I'm going to get some, there's actually this, you see it's the train footage, a younger kid in the UK, like younger than you, obviously, but like just, and there's other guy was like, you don't see what the other guy looked like, but was getting in the kid's face. And the kid was very aware. You saw in his eyes, it wasn't like terror, but he was very aware of what was happening. Got closer, feet up, and then just, you barely saw the punch, like boom, boom. It's like, oh shit, like perfect. All right, all done. Morning. And it was oh, you're good. Yeah. They're just excited. Did they bother you? No, you sure? Okay. All right, enough. Okay, over here. All done. Leave me alone. Over here. It's live. We're at the gym. Okay. Leon was throwing a punch at me, and I am not in his face. I have distance and range. I could be in a conversation stance, or I'm already having my hands up in some more defensive posture. As that comes in, boom, we blend. Okay. I like to think about it is I'm throwing a jab past his ear, and I'm trying to elbow him at the same time. So, whoa, boom. Now, I do elbow him, clamp, elbow, bam. Now, because we just elbowed him, I'm going to take his hands and misdirect and steer, turn my hips over, and now, boom, Toshi, or whatever I want. Because I'm in combatives now, I honestly don't give a fuck about the other arm. If he can't fall properly, he breaks his arm, life happens. He tried to punch me. I just got a hold of him. I'm sorry, officer, I tripped. Not really. I tripped him. But plain and simple, that I'm not going to try to like fight him like a grappler in a sport competition, but that's not what's happening anymore. Another way I could do this, let's say I wanted, that works well for me because it forces me into an overhook situation. I'm coming over the arm. Let's actually turn so people can see. Okay. Again. Oh, boom. I'm over the arm and hiding. I'm making sure his elbow is in front of my face so I don't get hit. And then crack, boom. Maybe at a knee, boom. Turn my weight over. And and now I send him. You done, buddy? Calm down. I said, are you done? Give you a wet willy. Come here. But that's how it should work. That blocking a hook punch has one option, a long guard option. Another variation we will call framing. Now, I'm definitely not going to go deep into frames right now. There's a whole other, well, we've done a bunch of videos on frames. If you guys are in our TRITAC community, like, it's a frame Bible in there. Actually, guys, for those of you who are new to TRITAC, we're doing a 6-week challenge, both internally and online. We just started it a couple days ago. If you guys want to get into that, well, let me know. Or if you go to tritacmartialarts.com/invite, it'll get you into our free community and you'll see all the details there. Would love to have you involved in that. Cool. On, is there emphasis? A different question. All right. So now getting to that framing, and framing, again, I could use to get an underhook or an overhook, but for this particular one, let's get to an underhook. So again, we're here, and Leon throws that punch. I'm just crashing through the hole. I am going to get underneath that punch and just get right in his chest. I'm going to use my forearms as battering rams. We call this a neutral frame. I don't want to think about what I'm doing. I'm just going, oh shit, plain and simple. Now, because of the energy of the punch and me crashing forward, we have an opportunity. So when he throws that punch, boom, we travel up. Okay. Now I'm in an underhook position, and we call this an underhook frame clinch. See, my right elbow is in front of his neck. That's a frame clinch. It's very hard for him to turn back into me because he's framed up. Compared if I did this while he's in, or I have to get really good with my overhook to keep him away, but that's tough. This just secures it, right? And of course, I'm right back to, I'm not gonna throw you, don't worry. If I threw him like this, I'd probably risk his arm. I really don't want to do that to him right now. But of course we could. So many different concepts on entering in. And I would absolutely argue one of the big things that we do is work entries. We are absolutely a defense first approach. I don't care if you're an MMA fighter, fireman, military, mom, dad, teen, what your goals are. Protect yourself first. Your health and safety are very important to me, TRITAC, and you, obviously. So it's not, we want to make sure that you have defensive tools first before you start learning to hit and throw and all those other things. Even though those things are a lot of fun, and one reason why people love doing martial arts, defense truly gives you power. And that's why I love our approach. So one more tip on that one, another variation, is that I can almost combine my framing and long guard approach with a frame too. So my elbow is still coming horizontal plane like we did here in long guard, but I'm going to fold it up. So a neutral frame I was here, this would be frame 2. So when he throws that punch again, boom, I'm frame 2 and coming back up to my clinch. Now there's, again, different variations of what we could do there. Any questions on the entering and how to block that punch? Let me get back on YouTube a second. Oh, more questions. How can I use a Tai Toshi? How can I use a Tai Toshi while our opponent is very fat? Don't. Okay. Your question is interesting and funny, and I like it though, because it does bring up a very, very important detail. As you may have kind of had this underwhelming theme or underlying theme I've been talking about this session, is that we're trying to find techniques that work for us. I talked about the overhook compared to his underhook. Well, that's my adaptation. I talked about my height on Ogoshi and other throws when I might not be able to get underneath Leon or someone else's hips. Okay. Same thing with Tai Toshi. Like if I can't get, like Leon might have a harder time doing Tai Toshi on me because I have very long legs compared to my torso, and him getting across my far leg might not work, but Uchimata might work, right? So it's not about will the technique work on the bigger person. It's the question is what technique or adaptation of technique do I need to make it work on a bigger person? Okay. For example, we're just talking about the dirty Uchimata. I mean, okay, let's say Leon is 300 pounds. I do dirty Tai Toshi. Boom, there's his head. And then just drag him to the ground. Man, when a larger person, especially if they are top heavy, gets shifted forward, I mean, it's just science, bro, right? Just dunk his head down. So Now, if you're learning, you are in a jiu-jitsu school, judo school, etc., and you're learning the Tai-Toshi properly, then, let's be honest, like find a partner that fits your style, fits your body, okay? And when I am teaching classes here, that's a big thing. I'm trying to partner people up by experience, size, and like almost energy levels too. And that's a big part of being a TRITAC or a coach, okay? You can be an instructor. I'm teaching someone something. And sometimes there's a blending of an instructor versus coach. But the way I look at it, where I feel like I changed, and it wasn't I called myself coach. People just started calling me coach. I considered myself instructor back in the day. I was sensei, still am sensei. I'm 5th dan in Japanese jiu-jitsu, but that's instructor license, right? But then somewhere, I don't even know when, only the past few years, more and more people started calling me coach. And I had to really kind of ponder what that meant. And I remembered my first true coach, which was Coach Jim Day from Berlin High School Wrestling, and very distinctly remembered what it felt like to have a coach. When I was wrestling varsity at freshman year, I lost every single freaking match. I was then wrestling what? Before my first match, I'd been wrestling 2 or 3 weeks. My whole life, the geeky, redheaded band geek that just didn't get along with people and bullied. Also, just wrestling. First fucking wrestling match, I got fucking head snapped, dunked, and just horrible. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? But there's a gap at 145. I had to fill it because I'm only 145 pounder. Okay. So long story short, I had asked Coach Day to please take me off of varsity. I don't want to keep, I'm embarrassing the team, embarrassing you. I'm bringing the team down. It's like, no, Matt, you're doing exactly where we need you. You're there. You're filling the spot. You're doing what you should. I'm not expecting you to win every single match. You just started this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to show you some other words about it. I barely remember being right outside the school and having that conversation because I just lost again. And it became like, like a special moment for me in a weird way. It's like, I'll be personal with you. My parents were not very supportive of my martial arts journey. I was just talking to a woman last night about it. Her son's just getting into it. Like, out of 3.5 years, I finished my senior year because of the shoulder injury. 3.5 years of wrestling. My parents went to like 2 or 3 matches. My mom never went to one. They hated it. It was just not good. I had to pay for my own martial arts. When I was 14 years old, I started karate, and I went to my buddy's school, and I had saved up some money from doing lawns, and I paid. But then I discovered wrestling right after. But my offs after wrestling, I would do like taekwondo, and I would pay for that out of my own pockets. They didn't support it. So Coach Day was the first real like supporter. So going back to coaching, I think that I view myself now or what a coach is, someone who goes a little deeper than just teaching techniques. They're trying to serve their students and their, whatever, the best way, that you're looking out for them just beyond just here's a technique of martial arts. Like, how can I help you in your life and journey in some way that I have a more positive impact? And so I'm so thankful for Coach Day for giving that to me. And in a kind of weird way, like he was a big part of like my journey here, along with many others. Okay. Other question. I love seeing these questions. Close up of the underhook, use Tai-Toshi. Sure. So the underhook, yeah, let's get right about, actually, perfect. Yeah. Okay. Right about there. Okay. So first, my underhook is covering your shoulder, and then I'm trying to like raise, and then what's also very important, I'm putting my head there, right? So I want to have this like, I'm like pulling, raising, and driving my head in, okay? We call this winning the head position. Very, very important. Knees, boom. And then we can make the underhook stronger by having a frame clinch there, all right? So very, very, very important. And the control points, I feel like almost like they're not giving us time to train, because we're talking like, what Fadi had asked about the throwing a bigger person Tai-Toshi, like control points are very different based upon the situation, what your opponent's doing, height, weight, all that type of stuff. Cool. Okay. For shorter people, well, Leon's been doing this the whole time. I mean, he's shorter than me, and he's got a ton of videos of him whooping my ass and others on the tube. I thought I heard someone. Did you hear it? No? Okay, cool. All right, guys, what time we got? Oh, look at that. I was just saying, I think we're done for the day. That hits our hour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would love, before I stop this, any feedback on these? Do you like these? Would you like to see more? Like, what do you think about this stuff? Any improvements that I can make? I would love any feedback, guys. Would really be important to me. I know we're just starting these out, but this is something I'm really committed to. I think they're cool as hell. I love having the chance to interact with you guys. I've never done this before like this, and it's just like, I just love it. Just love it. So if you guys are into it, let me know. Love some feedback. If not, I will see you next Thursday. We're doing this at 10 a.m. every Thursday, and I had to remind myself there. Okay. Now, if you guys have been long enough to TRITAC, we were doing 3-day live events that on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, once a month, we were doing these live events. And I kind of used this to replace it. But then I realized I don't like it. I miss the 3-day events when I have a set curriculum, set structure. I do a lot of planning for that. So I'm getting back to those on November 18th, 19th, and 20th, right? That's Tuesday 18th, 19th, Wednesday, and Thursday the 20th. We're getting back to our 3-day live events. If you guys who follow TRITAC, you'll see information on that really soon. If you guys are new to TRITAC, go to tritacmartialarts.com/invite. I love to interact with you, get involved in our community. And that's it, guys. I really appreciate you. I'm going to check questions one more time. And if not, I am out of here. The dogs are bored. They need activity. No, they're not. They've had plenty of activity. Cool. Those are 6 setups. Please keep it up. Yes, sir, Kiefer, I will. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Leon. Where'd you go? Appreciate you, brother. Guys, Leon's super.